Health Department.
Welcome to the Velkyn Weave, a.k.a. the Rinion Show.
Oh.
I'm just kidding. Rinion and the other 5? I don't know.
Yeah.
Everyone...
Nobody puts Delirious in a corner.
Nobody puts Delirious in the corner. We had so many options for the name of tonight's episode, but we settled on episode 15. Welcome to the Velkyn Weave, where a bunch of us nerdy artists, analysts, engineers, writers, nurses, and performers get together and play Dungeons and Dragons. So glad you're adventuring with us tonight. This is your first time watching the Games Tavern. Make sure that you like us. Make sure that you follow us. It supports the show, and it's free. If you're watching this on YouTube, check out all the links below the video. It's a great way to support us and learn more about where you can find the cast and crew. We're going to get rolling shortly, but first, some announcements.
That's right. Remember, if you have Amazon Prime, you also get a free Prime Gaming subscription, which you can use to show your support to the show, cast, and crew. A Prime Gaming subscriber gets access to sub-only emotes and a special subscriber-only channel on the Games Tavern Discord. So look us up.
And tonight, make sure to cheer on your favorite character when they do something awesome, like turn a dragon into a chinchilla. Could happen. Your bits cheer shows your support for the characters, and we love you, friends, for your support. Your subs support the Games Tavern production quality upgrades, and so that we can make better shows for you guys.
Now, before we get deep into the show, I'm curious, and it's not going to count as your monologue prompt for inspiration, but it might count for other intangible bonuses tonight. What is your hybrid name of a chinchilla dragon? As if it was a Pokemon or something else. We'll go around and we'll do Rinion, Eldon, Bope, Delirious, then Quentin.
Wait, did I hear that right?
You did. If you were to combine the name of a chinchilla and a dragon into a new name, I would like you to go first.
A chinchilla and a dragon. Like a name dragon? Like, there's so many questions.
The name.
What do you call this creature, this chinchilla dragon hybrid?
Call it.
How
Like
big is it?
Spork. You know, just...
Yay big.
Yay big.
Yay big.
Yay big.
Deep thoughts with Rinion. We'll come back to Rinion and we'll toss it to Eldon.
Okay, I've thought
It's hot
long and hard
potato.
about
Pass the
this.
chinchilla dragon. Pass the chinchilla dragon.
I've thought long and hard about this for about 10 seconds, and I think I'm going to go with Dracochilla.
Dracochilla.
I like that. I like
Woo!
that.
That sounds like back when I lived in Corrales, New Mexico. I dated a woman, Dracochilla.
Where is this going? Okay.
She lived in a castle on the hill. Bo, what you got for me?
Gonzilla, of course. Dragon, chinchilla, Gonzilla.
Godzilla.
A natural
I like that, too.
wedding of...
That was my favorite Muppet ship, Gonzo and Camilla. They were Gonzilla.
Gonzilla, yeah.
Yeah.
That's it.
OTP.
I need an OTP t-shirt. Delirious?
I'm gonna go with Chillagan.
Chillagan.
I like that.
How y'all boys
Because you know
doing
a
in here?
chinchilla dragon would be
Chillagan.
very chill. Because
Well,
he's so fluffy and he's so, powerful. He can just, accumulate whatever he wants and look, super cute doing it. Yeah.
I'm going to go with Fragile Sore. And the reason is its bones are like glass, and it's going to wear a little safety vest. And on it says break in case of giants. And you just snap the neck, and then bam, you've got a dragon.
That's pertinent.
Relevant to the situations.
Crack
Fragile
crack open in case of emergency. Rinion, last
So-
shot.
So I've got 2 here now. Because you gave me enough time to actually get the wheels
He is
rolling.
both
Fair.
first and last now, so he has 2.
So you have Chinhogger, both the chinchilla and Nidhogg, as well as going back to the roots of the words, Unda Serpent, because the chinchilla actually is from the Andes. So the Unda Serpent.
And I think I would call it the Chinchilla Dragon. I put a little hyphen between there. I know, that's why that's how you say in the Game Master's chair, fellas.
The,
And
Netflix
friends.
and Chillagan.
Netflix and chillagan. Hey, come over, have a little Netflix and chinchilla. Hey, we're gonna take dust bats, Grant? No. Ugh. All right.
I mean, if that's your thing, we don't kink shame in this stream.
We don't. I mean, at least not publicly. So, or privately. Why, we welcome chinchillas of all favors. Now that I've had done my overly long chinchilla dragon intro, it ties into this session because the party is deep within the ruins of Rest. Rest being the sunken city, the forgotten land of the humanoids where currently goblin kind are hiding out. Why are they hiding out? They were in possession of a phylactery that belongs to an individual known as the Ghost Lord, a sort of a legendary figure in these parts of the Sword Coast, known to have the power to raise entire armies of undead. Last week, our heroes stormed the city of Rest, and they fought Greenspawn Razor Fiends, an army of ogres and hobgoblins. They kicked a dragon's butt so bad it turned into a chinchilla out of fright, or a polymorph spell.
I'd fright better.
Defense mechanism.
Worm Lord Sarvith was hitting with the Rinyan smitten, as they say colloquially in this neighborhood.
It's true.
Yeah, he was smitten with the Rinyan. Yes. So, those are technical words, by the way. And essentially, Sarvith, a crafty goblin ranger, is currently being held at sword point, maimed with no way out. The rest of the party has looted the dragon's hoard and searched the worm speaker's chamber when Narkleneck, servant of the Red Hand, the Chaos Mindbender, has entered the room wondering where the Worm Lord is. His eyes see all, straight through that of our party. And now we will join our intrepid heroes to find out how they will escape the ruins of Rest. Their mission accomplished, for they have destroyed the demon spawn hatchery, or devil spawn to be more precise. But before we do that, we have an opportunity to earn some much needed inspiration. So what we like to do here in the Velkyn Weave is give the players an opportunity to monologue a little and get a point of inspiration that they can use over the session to either give advantage to a roll or allow a re-roll of a die. We homebrew that part. It's enabled here. So the monologue prompt tonight is what to do with the goblin and the dragon. And we're going to go Quentin, Bope, Rinyan, Eldon, Dolirus, who actually has the dragon in small furry form. Quentin, take it away.
What to do with the goblin, Narkleneck. When he walked in the room, I got this feeling like kindred spirit, you know, somebody who's a little sleazy but very competent, and he's going to have to be taken out, or at least occupied, because I saw him eye that chinchilla, the dragon, and that's not going to be allowed. So I'm going to have to go on a full frontal blitz to distract Narkleneck.
When
Brace
Bope
yourselves.
saw him come in the room, like, oh, this guy's got game. I'm a little tapped out as blood is like dripping down my face. Ooh, I'm eyeing I don't know where the carpet is. Ooh, we need to get the heck out of here, and the chinchilla needs to come with us. Otherwise, it's gonna be some sort of chillagan and come back for us. Ooh, maybe we can talk our way out. I don't know.
So, Rinyan's not in the room. Rinyan doesn't know that Narkleneck's a thing. So, but on his mind is more about what to do with the other goblin who he took his leg last week. And so he is contemplating making some type of carrying basket or maybe strap him somehow to his back. He's taking him with him.
Do. Don't freak out. Can't let him. Don't look scared. Don't look at the chinchilla. Do not look at the chinchilla. And I hope Rinian is on the other side of that door.
Well, our objective here was to take away resources from the enemy. We've done that by destroying the eggs. We've, for the moment, neutralized the dragon and Sarvith. I would like to keep those enemies neutralized. We need to dispose of them quickly before this guy... He might mess that up, so we need to do it quickly, whatever we're going to do.
All right. You all may receive a point of inspiration. Narkleneck's wandering eye kind of looks around the room. He kind of smacks his lips. And he says, would you be able to provide me the location of Sarvith? I'd very much like to speak with him, and if he is out at the moment, perhaps you could help me audit the dragon's hoard. If Regiax is away, he would be very upset if a single coin is missing from that pile. His patched eye kind of swaps in mid-sentence when he shakes his head.
Has he actually walked in the room, or is he still at the doorway?
He is in the room.
Are the ogres in the room, or are they still outside?
They're outside, and what you know, there's probably reinforcements out the door, but Narkleneck almost brazenly has come in alone. Almost as if he doesn't want the other hobgoblins to know what he's doing in here. He has suspicions.
Have you seen the hoard before?
Yes, I am responsible for keeping track of the coins. I count quite quickly, he says, his eye kind of rolling left and right.
Well, how do you know what the total should be?
Because I'm the auditor. I've been given books, he says. And he says B, like overly pronounced. He knows it's that when he says words that have a B in them. He's like, books. You know, he says it like that. And he spits a little on the S. He's like, basically, for whatever reason, he overpronounces the B's. He's like, Regiax has given me list and numbers because he doesn't trust that snaky little slinky Sarvith.
Interesting, because Regiax hired us to do an independent audit, as he thought that his current accounting may be off by some not insignificant sum.
Oh,
so if you would kindly...
You can finish your saying. It might change the fiction.
I'm gonna let you finish.
That is a 24.
Ooh. Okay, a 24.
So we're going to need those books to get to the bottom of this. Every last copper. And I overpronounced copper. Spit a little bit.
Oh no. He looks, he's like, if Regiax hired you, you'd be able to produce the contract. Like I can produce mine. And you notice he pulls out one. But you notice he kind of likes your game and he's respecting it. He's like, they've got moxie. This is my kind of negotiator. He doesn't disbelieve you, but he also doesn't believe you.
We're operating under a verbal word-of-mouth contract with a retainer, and I hold up a bag of coins. So no paper contract was available at this time.
A gentle person's agreement, if you will.
His devil lawyer would never allow that.
You didn't hear? He fired the devil lawyer.
Make a deception. I love it. This is going to be great. He fired the devil lawyer. What was I supposed to do?
Do you have inspiration?
What does one inspiration do?
Reroll.
One level?
Reroll or advantage?
Let's go with advantage. 'Cause that was
just
not a great roll.
slowly make my way towards
You stand
the
a very
door.
good chance.
Oh shit! 20! Not a natural 20, a dirty 20.
Unfortunately, I rolled a natural 20 with his modifiers. So he sees right through. And at that point, he says, interesting tone. Sleep. And he holds up his finger in the air and casts a sleep spell in a 20-foot radius.
Oh,
He has rolled a 35. So who has the lowest hit points?
I have 5. hit
So
points.
5 drops down. Who has the next lowest total?
Chinchilla.
The chinchilla.
Yeah,
So-
probably.
The chinchilla's asleep. So that the chinchilla has 1 HP.
That's all right.
Me next, probably. I have 28.
No, next is me because I'm at 27.
Ooh.
Oh.
If he can manage it.
Delirious, you're down. Well, I rolled a 35.
Yeah, okay. Because that would,
So that would
okay.
break your concentration, and the chinchilla's about to turn into a dragon.
Uh-oh.
Does
No,
that
no
break your
counter spells? No
concentration?
counter spells?
No, I'm fresh out of spell
Does that-
slots.
That breaks your concentration?
So
You
next.
didn't...
Falling asleep will turn you incapacitated. Incapacitated, you cannot maintain concentration.
Okay. All right. Yeah, you're right. Okay.
So Regrex is going to reform. Now, hold on to your butts when that happens. Then who has the next? It might
I'm
not
gonna
be
get
enough.
squished.
28?
I
That's
got
probably not
51.
enough.
That's not enough.
Okay. Quentin, are you at max hit points?
I am because I killed, or
He was-
rather,
Invisible the whole time.
but
He
You
cheated.
were prepping to kill those. Okay. So here's what happens. Bope gets a little woozy, kind of cozies up on the floor. Delirious, describe how it looks when you fall asleep. The chinchilla like nuzzles up to you and it's like, maybe I convert to Timora. I'm just a beast.
She kind of like does like this spiral fall and just kind of collapse on the ground and totally doesn't snore.
When you for chinchilla kabooms back into Regrex.
Is Regreax asleep, though?
He would not be when he necessarily.
condition, maybe?
Let's see what happens. Well, no, none of the conditions carry over when they transform, or the natural
okay.
abilities. But you know what? I like that. Let's roll for it. In fact, I'm going to let you roll for it, Eldon. Evens, Regrex is asleep.
The stakes
Right.
have never been higher. No pressure.
We got the game log so everybody can see it. 18.
Oh, I should roll there.
How do you custom roll? I see.
There's a little button in the bottom left. to just
Yeah,
make it
but I
18.
actually have my physical dice in front of me if I want to do that.
Evens, he's asleep.
Ooh. Ooh.
So he transforms, and he just fills up and he's asleep. And then Narkleneck jumps back. Who's still awake? Quentin, you're awake. Make an insight
Yes.
check. And Eldon, you make an insight check. Rinian, you're in the other room.
He probably heard that.
Not quite yet.
7 on the inside.
Indian's taking a potion just in case.
Eldon,
15.
you sense fear in Narkleneck. He fears the dragon.
What have you done, you giant bozo? Get the hell out of here before you ruin his nap. The heck is wrong with you? Do you want to wake him right now? Is that what you want?
Well,
Just get!
he leaves.
I'm gonna go
he
to the-
steps out.
I'm gonna close the door, and then I'm actually gonna stone shape the stone wall around the door to jam it shut. I'm gonna use my last 4th level slot and do
Okay.
stone shape on the door. Oh,
Is this where everyone goes in the other room, jump on the flying carpet, go underwater, then shoot out through the secret exit that Sarvith used to come in?
Well, some of us are asleep, but we can't leave this dragon.
I'm going to go
wake,
slap him awake.
yeah,
Smack, smack.
yeah. You
Dragon?
get one. I'll get. No, not the dragon. Delirious
No,
and
no,
Bo.
no, no.
One at a time.
The team.
Yeah.
An attack
Yeah,
would
there's-
wake that dragon up.
Okay.
Yeah, no, we're just
Okay.
gonna gently
Wake him.
shake Bope and Delirious back to consciousness.
Who is it? Dragon.
Every round I'm rolling for that
Yeah.
dragon just because we are home brewing effects, but right now you have time. So
Delirious,
Delirious is
do it
up,
again.
Bope's up. Delirious, you just see it.
I'm like trying to wrestle the carpet out of wherever it is. Come on,
Delirious, do it again.
gotta
See
go.
if you can get him now. Like chinchilla him again.
we gotta go.
I'm gonna save that for Dimension Door. Somebody gank him. He's vulnerable.
We gotta get Renyon for that shit.
Yeah, wherever Renyon is, I open that door.
Yeah, he's in the next door over. Just
Renyon, we gotta go. Dragon.
This is going to be interesting if he hits him.
Dragon. No, we gotta go.
Okay. You see,
You're going to get Renyon?
No, who's got the carpet? Where's
I have
Nimble?
the carpet.
Get it
Carpet's
out.
kind of on Delirious.
Can you unroll it?
Okay, I'll roll the carpet, but we gotta kill the dragon.
No, we don't. We gotta run.
Yeah, we do. It's our job.
Is it?
Yes.
we need to kill the dragon.
You hear pounding on the outside. These are big thunderous fists.
That's only gonna hold a little while. That's all the stone shape I
You
got.
know-
So kill it.
You
fast,
notice the
let's
stone
go on
shape
road.
starts to unshape. If you remember those
No.
hobgoblins, they
I
have the
hop
magic
on
too.
the carpet if it's done what
It
I
responds to
wanted it
Delirious.
do.
Okay, so
What are you doing?
Renyon-
Yeah,
Start
Renyon,
slapping
you-
Delirious'
We're
leg.
gonna slow time down for a second.
Carpet.
Let's walk through Rinyon's thoughts because he's been in the other room for a while. Sarva's like, "Thank you so much for tending my wounds." Single tear.
Well,
course.
let's take him with us.
He's strapped up.
Oh, that's right. Okay, great.
Who's?
So they open the door, right?
Yes.
And
Yes,
every-
you see them, and you see a big old dragon sleeping on the other side.
and they're marked, and they're like, go stab him. I'm like, okay.
Not everybody is saying that. I don't know who's saying that other than Delirious.
I'm miming it.
I'm saying
Okay.
Enough
Initiative
people.
then?
it. Saying it from the road.
Enough people. So Rinyon's like,
Coup de grace.
okay.
It's a dragon.
He's yeah. For this one, he'll slip the shield off a second and go in two-handed. Spells going up around him as he goes. You see one as he steps in and starts walking in. Kind of a greenish aura encapsulates him. All right, let's go. And then as he goes for the strike, you see the blade erupt into thunder, and strikes.
You can attack roll with advantage.
Okay, so.
And what we'll do, while this is going on, and then we're going to have to do initiative after this. If someone's casting Cure Wounds on Bope, by all means do that. You've got that off. It makes sense.
So that is a 23 to hit.
That's enough. And critical hit.
So I had already cast. I bonus action casted Thunderous Smite.
Mhm.
So 5th edition doubles everything, right?
Doubles dice.
Well, you can double the dice.
For everything.
Or I'll let you roll once and multiply it times 2. What would you like to do? You can double all the dice.
I'm just
Or
gonna
you can
double
just roll
all.
it once and...
I'm just gonna double all the dice, and because I took that off, I'm using these dice.
It'd be nice and dramatic about it. Oh, take these dice. And
Roll
some-
one at a time. These are his dragon slaying dice. I'm curious
Better
what
be.
happens.
So that is 12 plus 5, 17 magical slash. Or no, yeah. 17
Sarvith is no
magical-
longer tended?
Huh? No, he's on my back.
Okay, he's in. He's
Yeah.
okay with that.
Yoda
Oh,
form.
my dragon! I was
Thunder-
never yours.
Thunder goes off for 15 thunder, so 17 magical slashing, 15 thunder, and then
Okay.
D8. Where's the it's D8? D8. This twice.
Question: is everyone in the room with Rinyan, or
Yeah, I am.
Yes, I'm just kind of waiting to. I'm stepping on Delirious's rug cloak right now, waiting for this.
because you're all in the throne room?
32. So 32 more radiant damage.
Okay,
First attack.
you're gonna need both of them. And even then,
I mean, if I get an opportunity, I would attack as well at this point since he's going to be awake.
Then I could have rolled initiative and maybe the.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah, it's one of those things where it's like we could keep stacking it up, but it's like I think it's okay to let Rinian get the one off.
Yeah.
25 that time. Which that was.
Technically, the first attack wakes the dragon up too. Minus 25 to hit or 25 damage.
25 to hit for the second attack.
Barely misses. No, I'm kidding. It hits.
The first attack did what? 62.
It did a lot.
66 or 67. It was 32 plus 15 plus 15 or plus 17.
I'll say this: it did 160 and brought it down to 96. So he was at 160 and he's dropped to 96. I have my calculator running.
Yep. So
the Rinian calculator.
Right. So now this is not crit. This is just regular damage, right?
Yes. Oh, you're so fair. Give yourself an inspiration, even if you have 2.
That's good. Max.
I really appreciate. I love everyone talking about the rules and collaborating with trying to find the best way to adjudicate these things, or at least ways to do it. And I always appreciate when someone plays fairly.
15 more magical slashing. I maxed out. And 13 more radiant.
All right. The dragon is now awake. Everybody roll initiative.
Ooh. Excellent.
He's not dead, but Rinian did just under 100 points of damage there.
That's why we keep him around.
It was close.
Pretty good fight.
So
Once or twice, and then I'm,
once, while Sarvith is on your back, I'm gonna rule that Rinian may choose to either impose disadvantage on a single attacker as a reaction, or give himself advantage on attack, while Sarvith is strapped in your back as like a little Jedi Master Yoda, teaching you the ways of a lower level NPC. I just like that visual. So you can, as a bonus action or as a reaction, you can choose it, or as a bonus action to get advantage, just while he's on your back for this segment.
I've already got the first one.
Just say thank you.
Thank you.
There we go.
All right, so Dragon's at 18. What is Quentin at?
6.
That's so uncharacteristic. Delirious.
Dirty 20.
Ooh.
So also, if you didn't know, as Rinian was walking up, he did cast protection from poison.
Good. I believe these things do acid damage. They're not the Greenspawn Razor Fiend. But we'll see.
It is. You're right. It is acid.
Black. Yeah, I know. I like to mix it up. Figure out which immunities and protections you need. It's a mess. Hope what you got.
Natural 1.
Oh.
Base of the second level.
Eldon?
14.
14. All right. And Narkleneck and his cronies who were beating down the door and are still out there. Let's see. They're kind of the joy kill in this situation.
Really are.
Yeah, especially since they have a bunch of ridiculous things they can do. They go before Quentin. That group will go on 8. So that gives you some time to decide what you want to do.
Am I on there?
Rinian, what? Oh, I didn't put Rinian on there because I have an R for the dragon. I just assumed you were. What's your initiative?
19.
All right.
Thanks.
Okay. All right. At this point, Delirious, you're on deck.
I want to cast Bane on the dragon. Which hobgoblins can I see?
Can't see
whoever.
any yet.
I haven't got through the door yet.
Yeah.
Just us and the dragon right now.
Probably want to do it anyway. Bane on the dragon. Hopefully rolls one.
Bane on
DC
the
16
dragon.
charisma save, please. Wait,
Rolled a 20.
I was actually about to take that back.
But he rolled!
Okay.
All right. On initiative count 20 after Delirious. his
Well, no, hold
lair-
on. I have a bonus action I'd like to do. I want to
Okay.
do third level healing word for the pipples.
All right. That's good.
Because that's a bonus action.
Yes.
Everybody take 9 if that helps you. It helps me.
This mass healing word?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Fantastic. I thought regular. All right. Yeah. Woohoo!
Now, if you recall, before he was polymorph, so it's probably going to come down to Rinian. Essentially, his breath weapon recharged, so it's a ticking clock with him, and then it's a ticking clock with those Hobgoblin Devastators that might come through the door. And Narkleneck, the Mindbender, who uses a stat block from Bolos, and I'll let you guess which one at the end. It's not a Hobgoblin.
I'm curious. All right.
All right. So, after that, Delirious, anything else, or do we move to Rinian?
I just want you to know that I am standing on the carpet.
Okay.
I think so
yes,
is Bo.
I assumed that. After this, the layer action goes off, and the entire room begins to fill with a swarming insects. Many swarming insects.
That's not good.
So it's lightly obscured in here, and I need everyone to make a Constitution saving throw.
If you're close to me, +2.
We're going to assume everyone's close to you in this situation.
Oh,
Of course,
good.
Of course, that's where I get the natural 20.
That'll put me at 20 with the +2 then.
17.
13.
So everyone who rolled less than 15 takes 10 points of piercing damage. And then everyone who succeeded that takes half damage. And just so you know mechanically, I'll let you metagame. If you end your turn in the cloud, you're going to take more piercing damage. Because the room is now full of these swarming insects.
Mm-hmm.
And then it moves to Rinian's turn.
Well, the obvious thing is to continue to lay in. Try to end this as fast as possible. 2 inspiration is just an auto hit, right? It's not
Auto
a
success.
Auto success. It's not an auto crit.
yeah.
It is an auto success.
I'll just use 1 to go for the advantage. See if I can try to get that crit. Double 16s. Okay, so 24 to hit.
24 hits.
For 12 magic slashing damage, and his last spell slot for an additional 10 more radiant, as the last of Sylvanus's might fills him.
And what was the straight magical damage? I apologize.
12, I think you said?
Yeah,
Sounds right.
12
Well,
magical slashing, yes.
Okay. And your second attack?
Oh, right. That's a thing.
Punish him.
Second inspiration. Haha. Double 18s. Okay, that's interesting. So 26 to hit this time.
It hits.
Because apparently my dice wants to be that way this day. 8 more magical slashing damage. Oh wait, I've been forgetting to add the D4.
Roll it 4 times.
He only has one D4. He's going to go step
5
on
times.
it now, so.
That makes sure so it's stronger.
5.
This group's
Stronger,
so fun.
better, faster.
Daft Punk begins to play.
15 more magical, or 15 frost damage.
All right, 15 frost damage. Dun, 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 dun. And then what?
And you got the other magical slashing, right? The 8?
Yes.
Okay. That's all
All right.
I got.
You then take. Go ahead and make a Constitution saving throw. I think you get a Constitution saving throw. Let me double check. No, you don't make a saving throw on this one. You just take 10 piercing damage. It doesn't say that you take half on a save. It just says if you end your turn in the cloud. So are you moving out of the room or are you staying in?
I mean, I'm going to stay there until he's down or everyone else is out.
That's Renyan style. All right, love it. With that, we move through initiative, and it is Regiriax's turn. So he is going to use his breath weapon.
Wait, this is a new round?
No.
It's his turn.
But sorry,
So,
yeah.
He has a
track.
layer action, which
Okay.
sometimes works and sometimes doesn't. You'll figure out the puzzle of Regiriax, who's a combination of several.
When we
stats.
fight him with our next party.
Well, that's the scary one. So, assuming Renyan's in there, and assuming this dragon, I'm just gonna lump up. I think I have a dragon I could drop in there. I assume he's just back in the corner. He's big, he's bulbous, he's filling it up. He will essentially hit Eldon. Whoops, I just changed pages. Eldon, Sarvith, Renyan, Doliris, and
I have to go down again.
Quentin, I think.
Fucking dragon breath weapon.
So I need you all to make a dexterity saving throw.
That's real nice. 18. Does Sarvith get to benefit from my my thing? Because I'm basically the entire purpose of the thing is I'm hiding behind my shield.
Sure, that makes sense.
Okay.
Are we still close enough to get Renyan's save benefit?
Yes.
Great, then I got a 16.
This is a DC
17.
18.
I'm going to use the charge of my Dragon Mask to automatically succeed
Aha!
this one.
He is now your best friend. You may ride him as a mount wherever you would like. No,
Well,
Ooh la la.
I'm going to use my inspiration to reroll. Because I don't want to die.
I need to get like a magic weapon that's like you are protected from breath weapons because
Well,
this is ridiculous.
With
there's
Renyan's
bottles
bonus,
that catch him.
with Renyan's bonus, that puts me at an 18.
I'm so
18.
happy for you.
You will take half of 54 points of damage. If you made the save, if you did not, you will take the full 54.
Cleric down.
Sarvith is down.
Sarvith's protected.
Is he from all the acid?
It's a complete avoidance of all damage.
It's shield evasion.
He's like, you're my best friend! He's like full Titanic. I'm flying, Renyan. He's looking out the back. Yes. Bob, how are you?
He can see the acid like spraying around him.
You didn't list my name.
No, you're not. Yeah, because you're not in the
Okay.
line. No,
Okay.
you're out. Lucky you.
Yeah.
Quentin, how are you?
I'm still up 14 hit points remaining.
All right. Who's down? Eldon?
Oh, not down. I have 5 hit
It's
points
just
left.
me. I think it's just
Okay.
me.
And boom.
And with that, the dragon is going to attempt to crash through the stone wall. Renyan, make an opportunity attack.
Yeah.
Assuming you have a reaction. If you don't have a reaction, you can't make it.
Don't have a reaction.
Damn it!
Well,
He goes.
it's either I take a reaction and not die, or
It's a good choice.
He goes crashing out, and he's going skyboard. And for those of you that kind of have an idea, I imagine like Quentin with some sort of power might peer out and look through the ceiling on the other side. You notice he is flying northeast. He's just trying to get out of there the best he can. He has had it with your group.
So close.
But
Let's go chase him!
on the other side, yeah, this is like Final Fantasy VII, like the ultimate weapon battles. Like you can just go chase him down.
You want to chase him?
There's all these optional boss fights.
Got him on the run. He's almost dead.
You're bleeding out on the floor.
I can fix that.
encouraged her, Eldon.
So, on the other side, there's these 4 ogres and these 2 hobgoblins and a narkleneck who are just kind of flabbergasted at
This turn of
Gregariax. Yeah, because they weren't expecting to see him. They were trying to come back in. He comes crashing through the wall that they're trying to open with their spells. But it ain't their turn. It is Eldon's turn. Storeship close!
I do not have spell slots for that sort of thing anymore. Bope and Delirious are both down, right?
No, Bope is fine.
Hope is fine. He's
I
like,
was
I'm
out
healthy."
of the spray. When he said you're out, I was
Oh,
out
I thought
of
the
spray.
bugs got you.
Not thanks to you guys' heal.
The bugs are going to get him.
Uh,
Don't
Yeah,
worry
if you
about
finish
it.
your turn, in that room, you're gonna take 10 points of piercing damage.
Are you already on the rug?
yes.
You already on the rug? How many's already on the rug?
I'm not, but I will be as soon as it's my turn.
Then we can book it out of here.
Renyon, are you on the rug? No, you were hitting a dragon.
Yep.
Grant, I have a question for you about what I can do after a wild shape.
Devil's bargain. What would you like to do?
I'd like to wild shape into a giant eagle, and as I fly out of the room, grab Renyon.
Fly like an eagle starts to play. Yeah, that's just as long as Rinyon's allowing himself to be grabbed and he's not resisting. Or he goes, eagle! And like turns you over onto your head. Just
So
Ushimata trip, just
I'm gonna wave the bugs around, look at the 2 conscious ones, and be like, "Get her the hell out of here!" And I'm gonna and grab Renyon and
all right. You take off perfectly too, so like you can't get hit by Tweedledum and Tweedledumbass who are at the front door. So,
there's a nice big hole or 2 in
Yes.
this building. Thankfully.
yes, the ogres are like, "Ugh!" They jump and it's just like they miss it. It's like just stuffed.
No,
And
I have
you
more
are now
points.
taking flight. Yes, you are now giant eagled. And you will not take any of the damage. We move to Nurkleneck and his cronies. All right. Nurkleneck goes first. Dare he do it again? He takes a look at the group. And he goes... Sleep! Snaps his fingers. But it's a random roll. So,
All ones.
that's the fun part about sleep. No save. That's
say
worse than the
fine.
last time. Who has the lowest HP?
Oh, I think Eldon.
I-
actually.
Is
I've got
Delirious
14.
unconscious?
Yes, I'm bleeding out.
Eldon's not here right now.
I've
Oh,
got 14.
I've got 9.
Let me see something. You might be safe.
Oh, I'm immune to sleep. I'm flipping him off. Menzo Baron
I know.
Zen.
He's like, yeah, fireball. No,
That'll show.
Quick and
yeah,
spell,
those.
that's all.
But okay, Renyon, Sarvith, and Eldon are out of there. I'm just gonna remove you from the fray for the moment.
Oh, so it's just Bope,
Bope.
Quentin, and me.
And
I'm
Bope's the
messing
only
things
one that
up
can
over
get
there. I'm
knocked
making
out.
you into a giant woman. All right, here we go. That's a Steven Universe reference, chat. It's the giant woman song. Delirious is still in there. Quentin's still in there. Eldon's still in there. Okay, so here's how it works. Or not yet.
Oh.
Both Quentin and Delirious. So they have 37. You're unconscious, so how's it split between the two of you?
So I'm at 9, so I'm asleep.
What about you, Quentin?
I'm immune to sleep as a half elf.
Ah, you're immune!
Yeah.
Are you and Nimble becoming good friends right now?
Yes, the bestest of friends.
All right.
Lyris, you've got to get her the hell out of here now. Let's go.
The two
Is it-
hobgoblins, after the group falls asleep, the best part would be if this is just me being me. If Quentin pretended to be asleep and tells Nimble, fly, and just takes off. Because the other hobgoblins are using their fly to start trying to chase after the eagles. Because they're like dragon, eagle. And so they kind of split. So one is chasing the eagle. Not close. He can't get there yet. The ogres are essentially going to move in and prepare yourself for some acrobatics, Quentin.
Okay.
Or some, unless you wrestled in college. There's going to be a number of contested athletic roles.
Realistically, how many of them can get in there? I mean, it's a small room.
Yeah, I think they should roll athletics to get
Did
in the
someone
room.
describe a large hole for a giant eagle to fly out of?
Fly out of.
I will say this: only 2 of them can try to grab him, though. They're not all going to be able to.
So
And they're not. One's not going to pick up Bope, and one's going to pick up Delirious, and they're back up and be like, Quentin then dispatch. He probably could kill 2 ogres. It would be tough, but
Not with the insects flying in here, biting. So
that?
you need a dex
You're
for
right.
me?
oh yeah, that's going to hurt them.
Lightly obscured as well.
Acrobatics, if you can. So they're going to try to athletics you.
Let's see, it's a 23. I'm good on that
Oh
one.
no!
What?
I rolled a 24. I rolled a nat 20 and a nat 1.
Whew. I guess he's got me.
Oh.
That was one and then the other. I dropped that. I was gonna
The
say.
other's a 15.
I was gonna say. I'll show it to y'all. I'm not gonna put it on the interface because I was like, ooh, you see that roll. So you are currently grappled, and your movement is 0. However, your flying carpet has a move thanks to mounted combat.
True.
Who took mounted combat?
Well, not the feat, but the mounted combat rules.
As the,
Oh,
As an intelligent mount.
the carpet
yes.
took mounted combat.
I was gonna say, if you're on a mount, your mount can move.
okay.
You
You're
are
thinking,
technically
you're
always
thinking
on it.
mounted combatant, which is the feat.
Oh, okay.
You see that roll though in the Discord.
Yeah.
20 that one.
Oof, boy. It's a roller coaster of emotions.
Is.
Where the nat 1 bumps into the other guy.
So, are you moving? Because you can. You can fly on that carpet.
Yeah. Nimble, grab us, get us out of here.
You are now airborne. Quentin, I believe you're next in initiative. Now, you can still attack while being grappled. So, Nimble goes, he goes up 120 feet, just as fast as he can. You're currently grappled with the ogre who's like, whoa, kind of losing his balance. He's not used to being on a flying carpet. Delirious is unconscious on the carpet. Bope's unconscious on the carpet. The silhouette of an eagle goes past the setting sun. There is an army of lizard folk praising their bleeding, fleeing god, Regariax, who's flying in the complete opposite direction. And then Rinian's like headphones heavy metal music. Da-da-dunt, da-da-dunt. He's like, fly me in, eagle. Oh, and
Fly
Sarvin,
me closer. I wish to hit it
Rocket
with my
Raccoon
sword.
with a crossbow from behind. Pa, 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 pa. You notice they're spinning,
Yeah.
hailing death. All right, Quentin, what you got?
So he's grappled with me as a bonus action. My eyes kind of turn white, and I try to telekinetically shove him 5 feet away off into the abyss. He needs a strength 15 saving throw.
All right, he might be able to do
Yeah.
that.
It's beefy, but nothing
There's a
ventured,
1 on
nothing
every
gained.
die.
7, he's off. Falling 120 feet. Now, does shoving him break the grapple? Or do you have to escape the grapple?
Well, my understanding is that with forced movement, it essentially breaks the grapple.
Now,
Kind of like if you were Thundered Wave. I looked it up when I took the feat.
I believe it. I believe. I know you.
As
So
we often talk about, grapple rules in most games are trash.
True.
and that's what Quentin says. He just turns. Grapple moves in most games are trash. As the ogre, you ever see the Peter Jackson's King Kong, and you just see the ogre like, no, and he falls and gets tiny.
I yell down to Narkleneck, "You've been audited!" And then I try to hit him twice with Eldritch Blast.
At a
Which
range
is,
of 120 feet.
That is the range of Eldritch Blast, yes.
Yes.
So yes, grapple
Ooh,
does in
Yeah.
grapple doesn't.
A 5 and a 20, so a 27 to hit crit. That's
Yeah, that'll damage. That might flat out kill him.
Mhm.
He doesn't have a lot of HP. He just has some
Uh,
cool spells.
No, it's only 7 force damage.
Nah, that's not enough to kill.
Yeah, I'm not a true Eldritch Blaster. I don't have a lot of stuff adding on to it. I'm done then.
Quick, Eldon, go after that dragon.
Scree?
Drive-
We have him on the run.
Drive me closer. I want to hit him with my sword.
Bo, you're currently asleep, not dead.
But there's still a horrified look on my face from watching my friends attack a dragon. We're all dead. Oh.
Beerus, I need you to make a death saving throw.
Oh, that. Yeah.
A 20. That's probably a success, right?
That's a 6. You're up with 1 HP.
Great.
Yeah!
Delirious' eyes open. Hell hath no fury, like Delirious scorned. You notice it's a beautiful sunset. It is just a glorious day. Nimble
I will appreciate that.
is speeding away as quickly as possible after a giant eagle that is flying towards the setting sun. You see in the distance the form of Rinian flipping off the dragon, I'm sure, or not.
You said we're flying in the direction of the setting sun. The dragon was flying west, therefore we're flying west.
I said the
Dragon
dragon
was
was
flying
flying northeast.
We're flying.
You almost got me, but I have it in my notes.
I'll tell you, we're flying towards the Elven Village. We're flying towards
Southwest.
Starsong. That's where we're flying.
Which is southwest. Yeah, so you
I
just
could have taken him.
you could have. He was hurt pretty bad, and that's and like they have like thresholds when they like flee. Like you hit Sarvitz, and he was like, "I'm done fighting." He'll try to escape once. He won't even try to like sneak up. He's like, "I got to get out of here." And then the dragon has another one. It's like, how am I going to tell this to Ozzy Rindian, who was the other dragon you fought the other time, who was much bigger than him?
So is the dragon like within 5 or 10?
Feet? No,
No. HP left.
no, he had more than that. But I'm pretty sure Ring could kill him.
Were
Miles-
you yelling anything at him? Like, I'd like to talk to you about your dragon insurance while he's chasing.
Didn't want to steal one of your lines. You know.
So, the party's heading off into the setting sun. There are, I did describe, 2 hobgoblin devastators who are flying. What's the party going to do to try to evade them?
One was flying towards the dragon, though.
One's flying towards the dragon, but who
One's-
knows how long he's going to go after him.
If one was gonna follow us, I was gonna sate Rinian's bloodlust because he can't knock me out of wild shape by just breaking concentration. I was gonna fly Rinian at it and see if he can knock him out of the air.
Go gadget paladin.
First, I want to know, Delirious, is there anything you do on your...
Well, I already slapped a cure on myself, but if I see him following, I'm gonna take out my crossbow and take pot shots at the bastard.
Take a pot shot.
Yeah. Well, I haven't broken this thing out in a while. Let's see here.
Hasn't been serviced.
17 to hit.
This is my random encounter. 17 is gonna hit this dummy.
All right then. So that's going to be 5 piercing damage, and I do poison damage now. 7 poison damage.
Damn.
5 piercing damage, 7 poison damage.
Brilliant. Your arrow thrusts into the shoulder. He's like, my casting arm, the hobgoblin, and it breaks his concentration. I believe that
Fall?
he needs to fly. Yeah, I did not make his save, so he is now falling many feet. Let me see,
Scree.
Scree.
He splats.
It's not the fall that kills you.
It's a sudden stop at the end.
Good on y'all. And so, Narkle Neck, or that wasn't Narkle Neck, one of the hobgoblins splatters as it attempted. Yeah, he did not survive the falling damage. It was too much for him, particularly since he had an arrow that had pierced him.
Look.
Eldon, your turn. You're gonna fly up?
I mean,
Or no, the other one's far away.
Yeah, I'm not flying after that one. I was gonna just try and throw Rennie at the one that was following us, but if he's splattered, like, scree, I'm head back towards. I'm just gonna fly up and away towards Starsong. The rug can fly faster than me, so I'm not worried about it. I got.
Sarvith is like giving his Jedi wisdom. He's like, you see the green hint on the horizon. That dragon's lungs are back to full capacity. I dare not move closer. I did roll to see if Regariax recharged his breath weapon, and it is back up again.
It'd be fine.
I should do backward talk for Sarvith the rest of the campaign. And so I need to know where the party's headed. Now, there's a few things you have. One, you have a whole bunch of loot that you've stolen. You have magic items. You are currently flying. Are you headed back to Starsong? Are you headed elsewhere to hide?
Starsong's also the closest location we know of, right?
And
It is
safest.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
We
Yeah,
there's
need to update them on what we've done if they want to capitalize on it.
All right.
Full factory.
And I will have to tell everybody what I found.
That's
All
good. That's good.
So let's do a scene, an RP scene. Now, I assume Bope is roused from his slumber. He's like, I've had 2 horrible dreams today. And he's like,
Both of them were true. I'm sorry.
does the party want to travel together, or are you going to fly separately? You are now out of harm's way. You are out of combat.
We should fly together.
Yelling at each other
so
because you
that's
still have to have a little bit of distance. Hi.
Hey, that was a lot of fun.
I'll put you on the rug if you tell me to. I can't tell you that, but I would because I can still understand you.
We almost had him. So close.
Scree.
Whoa, Eldon, is that you?
The eagle's wearing the hat.
That's impressive.
So,
The small
amongst-
hat on a big eagle or a big hat?
amongst the group, I'm not finding my Star Song Hill map. I can throw it back up. I can make it quickly. So Sarvith is with you now too, and if you want to ask him any questions or poke his brain, you have him at your mercy, or at
thought
least
he was
Rennie
liquid.
does.
Sarvith, where do you think that dragon is headed off to? Is it,
Probably to go to the High Lords, the greater ones, the leaders of the Horde, to regroup and report what has occurred. They will probably send him to march towards the city of Brindle, or kill him for his failure. He is needed, but not anymore. You've killed the Razor Spawns.
Yes. Was he the?
Pater Familius.
Was he doing the
The
deed?
sire, shall we say.
He was the Pater Familius. He sired them, the Megs. Rather, he, well, it would take a teacher to explain. Eldon, no, tell them where.
With what
Yes.
was it breeding? What was the dragon breeding with? The adult one that was there?
Summon devils, yes. We had brought some of the elder razor spawns over. They do not always stay in this plane. And he was breeding the eggs with them.
Inky.
Scree.
Well, we need them to supplement the army. For it will be some time before we open the greater portals and the greater devils and fiends march through. Or should I say they? I'm no longer associated, nor am I affiliated with the Crimson Phalanges. I don't even like to say their name anymore. It's forbidden where I come from.
It's probably for the best. And now you know those portals would bring about the end of your races as well, as they wiped out all living creatures upon this plane.
I've learned that either they will wipe out all members of my race, or the Nimbus will. Have been having some issues with the Cloud Giant vigilantes, and apparently the organization known as the Velkyn Weave.
Those both
Tree.
sound like very outstanding outfits.
Formidable.
Scree.
You're lucky the Emerald Enclave was here to rescue you from.
And we can move to Creature 3 on the slides. That's Sarvith. He just doesn't have his armor, and he's in a backpack. But
Old, really.
So that guy in the building there who was going to audit the horde, so he said, what's the beef you guys got?
He was sent to spy on me. I was untrusted by the High Lords. They didn't like that I've been known to scheme a scheme from time to time, play for an edge, and they felt that I might be potentially corruptible.
What did you do before the joining the Red Phalanges?
I was a little bit of a grifter, a little bit of a show goblin, if I will, quite the actor, and I was a great hunter.
You ever sell used wagons?
He like once or twice, depended. It was hard to keep the job. Then he tells a story about how he was left to watch the used wagon lot one night, and then someone came in firing guns, and it tied into a longer story about how, this beautiful elf came in and was like, I'm going to buy a wagon. He's like, you can take any of the wagons off the lot. I trust you. Take it overnight. And then eventually she didn't bring it back, so he had to hunt it down. And then there was a drive-by arrowing that he narrowly survived. Whole truth.
I like this guy.
Yeah.
Like,
He's growing on me. It was a mistake to let him talk.
Don't they all grow on you though?
Like fungus.
So
fertile ground there.
Yeah, he explains though. Are there any other questions for him? Because he has them. He might know, and you can talk about. It might help if we go around once and name any clues or leads that you have as a group, out of character too, as players. Clues or leads that you might want to follow up on with him.
Yeah, I was trying to think. What else were we trying to do? We were to disrupt the dragon's hold on the lizard tribes, which we've driven him off at least.
Yeah, that's going to take some
At least
more work.
temporarily. I don't know.
think.
The lizard folk.
He would
are
tell you, he goes,
convinced.
without the god in the area to keep them under sway, and without me serving as the pseudo-prophet, they will probably go back to their ways. There's no driving force or military presence to organize them. It would be foolish for them to go after the elves. In fact, they probably couldn't agree on a leader. If there was a single leader that could rally them, though, they would probably march under their cause.
I need to talk to Dean
over at
Tobias
Quentin.
about it.
Commander Deet.
I was like, I look over at Quentin.
You don't want to give him that kind of power. I mean, responsibility.
Desperate times and all that.
I could rally that. But,
Sarvith, tell me about your deal with the Ghost Lord.
So there's an item that he starts goblin-splaining the basics of lichdom. He's like, and when a wizard grows very old and doesn't want to die, they create a special item known as a phylactery. And he starts spelling it P-H, then he starts messing it up, I-lactory. And then he just kind of scribbles in goblin speak after it. And he goes, and they're very protective of these things. I once knew a lich that selected a magic sword to be his phylactery. So adventurers would take the sword and that lich would just regenerate time and time again. Silly adventurers.
Rinian's giving
Bope is taking notes on this.
Yeah, and he goes, but we had possessed Stormcaller Ulwai. She is one of the greater goblinoid sovereigns. She infiltrated the Ghost Lord's lair deep to the south and managed to snatch his phylactery from his sacred halls. His seclusium, if you would call it. That's a word we introduced earlier in the campaign. Ghost Princess also had a seclusium. So she managed to take the phylactery, steal it away, and send it up here for my safekeeping. And it's probably still in the throne room. He didn't see you all steal it. But only I know the location.
Location of what?
The phylactery.
Oh.
I hid it so no one could ever find it, as you know that you have it.
So what was the deal you made? He gets it back for doing what in return?
He creates an elaborate army, a lich-born army, where he crosses the veil and brings back an invincible force numbering, greater than we have of goblinoids. If you think 10,000 strong in the Red Hand Horde is a number, that Ghost Lord could easily march 20,000 with their number.
If he had the power to summon 20,000 undead warriors, why did he need your bargaining in order to find the motivation to do it, I wonder? Why wasn't he already trying to conquer the world?
He's like, you see a little wry smile. In RPGs, it's always a wry smile. You see a wry smile form on Sarvis' lips. He goes, because he's a sad boy.
Oh?
Yeah, that lich has a broken heart. He's not interested in forming armies and marching them out. If you were to ask him, or so the legend goes, he's already spent his time ruling kingdoms and serving in courts. No. That Ghost Lord needed to achieve immortality, but he was forgotten by one he longed to hold hands with, if you will.
Guys, I have a sneaking suspicion.
I don't know if she's that old. I mean,
She's not that
I'm
old.
sorry, Scree.
Okay. Scree.
Scree.
Does his paramour have a name?
Oh, I wouldn't know it. I'm but a simple goblin who lived in the mountains. We hope to acquire it from one of the elves, but I'm certain the identity of this damsel is within his stone manor.
All right, Sarvith. Close your ears and close your eyes.
Get the wax, he turns to Bope, and anyone can fill his ears with melted wax and close his eyes. Well, you don't want him to hear anything.
No. So, guys, I found the phylactery.
Scree.
I don't know what we should do with it. I think if we give it back, I want to know that he's not going to decide to take his undead army and destroy the world anyway.
I mean, if he's already created an undead army, why not use it once and then have him disband it?
Oh. The Aragorn maneuver.
I just want to say it's a lot of work to summon an undead army.
I think so.
Yeah, I can't wait to get to a hay pile at Star Song Hill and just close my eyes for a bit.
Agree.
Yeah, I want to say during this whole interrogation, Bope has just been lying down on the carpet, just staring up at the night sky,
Yeah.
the evening twilight.
We have a lot to think about.
Agree.
He's like, his ears are closed and his eyes are shut, and he's about gone to sleep too. In fact, he's all tuckered out. You hear him.
He's had a
quietly
long
snoring.
day.
He has as well.
I think the only thing left once he wakes up that I want to ask him is where Narkle Fart.
Narkle Fart. You should just call him Narkle Fart.
Narkle Fart. Where is Narkle Fart?
That old
Narkle Neck, where he would go next. I don't like leaving loose ends out there.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, he kind of snaps away. He goes, oh. Narkle Neck would probably try to take hold of the stronghold. If he doesn't hold the stronghold, he will probably head to the northeast and meet with the greater horde and head up towards the greater
What stronghold?
Kokorzul. He would stay there and rest.
Okay.
Probably because he thinks the phylactery is still there. He will probably search for it. He is very good at finding things, and he will find it, and then he will protect it, lest why Stormcaller take his head from his shoulders.
Agree.
So,
She's strong.
could always go back there on the morrow and finish them off.
Sounds like his own
Uh-huh.
people might do that for us.
It depends. He probably feels naked and exposed if the dragon's not there. In fact, the lizard folk will probably arise for their morning sermon where myself and the dragon would perform some pseudo rituals, if you will, a song and a dance.
How
They don't
dare
see-
you?
It is my faith, as he shows his little Tiamat tattoo. Yeah, I'm a believer, but not. He kind of looks at the group. He's like, but I'm open to other options. That T could switch to an S or a different kind
How
of T.
Dare
As with a
you
wink
sell
to those.
snake oil to the lizard people?
I take out my Tiamat sigil and be like, you faithless, non-believer.
Yeah, he's shamed. He's like, oh. He's like, oh.
You betray the great lady.
Yes.
Oh, but do we need to worry about you?
Agree?
Hey,
Yeah, he's like, I hear there's a good chance she might get her butt handed to her by some higher level adventurers and their allies. Yeah, so at that point, he ponders what he ponders, and he's just like, so what I imagine will happen is the 6 tribes, the large families, will come up with their shamans so that their children might hear the good word of the big T, and then they're going to see the little N. That little N is, he won't be able to hold them all off. He's crafty, and his devastators do attack with a frightening amount of force. But if I recall, one of them went splat. Several other were defeated in combat. In one, well, he's probably going to either get eaten by the dragon, capture the dragon, or get flayed alive when they realize we have abandoned rest to the lizard folk.
Hmm.
I think our job here is done.
Yes, I suppose it is.
I don't know. We started an audit. Should we finish it?
I mean, another force that Quentin could muster would not hurt.
Turn the lizard folk, instead of neutral parties, into an ally.
There are many
I think that's an excellent idea.
But
With
first,
that-
rest.
All right. The party continues flight in the setting sun. As the first stars of the skies appear, they arrive at Starsong Hill. This would be scene setter number 2, where they are greeted by familiar faces. The elves are somber, and they have awaited your return. When they see you come and they see the condition you are in, they immediately start casting out enchantments to both protect you, ward you, and close any open wounds, stop any bleeding, and
Excellent.
to clean off the filth of the swamp as you are prestidigitized. Now,
Very
they
easy.
let you keep your distinct natural aromas because they don't want to offend you. They live here as well.
They can get rid of my aroma.
They just don't want to get let you become infected at all. And you are greeted by Trelara Nightshadow, who you recall was a sad girl elf who was playing the harp and led the funeral rites. Her brother was the one whose remains you returned, or rather, the necklace. They're like, what happened? What was there? What did you find?
Well, we were partially successful in our mission. We successfully eliminated at least the current threat of the Razor Fiends that have been such a bane upon your village.
How many did you kill? Says an old blind elf.
I'll look over at.
We
Eldon.
destroyed the whole clutch of eggs. No
How-
more will be spawned,
how
and its
many?
mother.
How many do you remember? I didn't
Couple.
go in there.
A couple dozen.
They seem very impressed, and they're like, "Did you destroy any of the larger?"
We did. The
They take your word for it.
brood mother, whatever it was. Something that
How,
was
how
laying.
many?
Just the one that was in the city.
And you also killed one before that,
Yes.
for a total of 2, which is pretty impressive to them. You have achieved, just so you know, metagame-wise, a maximum number of alliance points for
Yay!
Razor Funds killed. The blind one, when you speak out and goes, "I remember your voice. I remember your voice from the funeral. You were here. You were the adventurers that came. Ah, yes. Your group is a friend. Are there any leaders that remain?"
We captured one.
Oh! And then he sees it. He goes, "There's no leaders. There's just one dummy who will probably be lizard breakfast." They seem terrified at the sight of this goblinoid. And they're like, "What fate shall befall him?" And, some are reaching for weapons. They don't ready them. They don't like the sight of Sarvith. He's like, hey, easy. He's in your backpack still.
His fate is to stand on the line with me against the horde.
They nod in agreement. "Yes, let him face his own kind. Make him atone. Brand him. Shame." And then they're like saying other ones. They're like other attachments. And they like cast they use a wand of smiles. So he smiles for a second. Then if you hit someone with a wand of smiles twice, it turns into a frown. And then he has a little frown. They're like, yes. He shall frown for the rest of the day.
Well, that'll teach him.
I
We want him to demonstrate his penance. Xanathar's guide to everything needed to include some mundane magic items.
Love those things. So great.
The other goblinoid his position is greatly weakened. Unlikely that he will remain. He'll either be finished off or fled by the third, which is unfortunately we were unsuccessful in dispatching that foul black dragon. However, we seriously wounded him enough that he took flight immediately and fled back to the northeast.
He's been driven out of the swamp, and without him, those lizard folk ain't gonna abide those goblinoids much longer.
And with both the worm speaker and the worm gone, yes.
The dragon has been chased from the swamp. Yay! And there's some celebration amongst the elves. Yay! And then, some are starting to play their Oh no! You remember the World Cup in South Africa?
Yeah,
Whatever the
yeah.
sport is.
Zuzu.
Vuvuzelas.
Yeah.
Vuvuzelas.
They're starting to play all the elves. That's their instrument of choice as they start to play them.
Where are they hiding those?
I
Like,
want to
those are
leave.
huge.
I want to leave this town now.
Yeah, so they're just excited.
They're a quarterstaff.
What else can you tell us?
I can tell you that we recovered an item of great power, and I believe it calls out to Renyan. And in Elvish, I speak as I pull out the mace. Whoever holds this mace, if they be worthy, shall be named Sentinel of Starsong, hero of Tiri Kitor. Renyan, the chaser of Regriax. And I kind of present the mace to him to hold.
Now, is Renian going to hold it? In question, are you attuned to?
We haven't had time yet.
Well, what's it? Okay. And what magic items do you have on?
Already? I mean, I'm already maxed attune, unfortunately. But I've got where is equipment? Gauntlets of Ogre Power, the Ring of Free Action, and the Ion Stone of Protection.
You could swap one for the mace if you would like. Or you could give it to the elves as a gift. You can either present yourself as the Sentinel of Star Song, or you could give it to the elves, and one of them can aspire to become worthy to wield it.
What does it do?
So it is a silvered mace. It has a bonus, and if you're familiar, they have one item that does this in 5th edition. But in older editions, sometimes if you could combine a trio of magic items, they would form a much more powerful legendary artifact. But it would require perhaps gloves, a belt, a blunt object.
You've already got the gloves.
Well, I think he's talking about specific gloves.
Oh.
The gloves you have on.
Oh, so we're just missing a belt?
I whisper to you, just hold it.
Yeah.
This is your moment.
Just hold it.
Holding
Yeah,
it.
hold it. Oh, they all scream.
Everyone's looking.
Well, first, I need you to make a charisma check. DC 17.
Ooh.
All right.
You
Inspiration.
do not have the belt.
Is it a charisma check or a saving throw?
It's a check. Because we have to decide
If he's worthy.
He's not worthy.
Well, I mean, it's a +5 swing. So, no, only a 15.
you hold it, and everyone goes, "Huh!" They gasp. Your hand goes to the ground with it, but they all back up, and it leaves a crater. They go, "Perhaps one day he shall return, and when he does, he may draw the scepter." At that point, you notice some curious elves kind of gather around. A couple of them touch. It almost looks like it hurts them. It pains them when they touch it. They're not wearing the gloves like you. However, Doliris, make an insight check.
Insight. Where is that? There it is. Ugh, 10.
10's good enough. It was a 50-50 that you'd get it. You'd have to get a 10 or higher. So 55%, not 50-50. But don't check my math, please, chat. I beg of you. You have a suspicion that if she gained confidence, Trelara, who led the funeral, whose brother was slain, could possibly aspire to be or is worthy enough to lift the mace. But it would take her some time before she would get confidence to do that.
Was it Trollar who made the comment, perhaps if he comes back, he'll be worthy? Something like that?
No, it was another elf who said that.
Hmm.
The old one, the blind one.
Heard the thud.
Listen, guys. You shouldn't put all of your eggs in the Renyan basket. He's a busy guy. He's got a lot of things to do with his life. You know, we all kind of do. We're not home people. You understand? We go hither and yon, etc., etc.
Can't be everywhere.
Can't be everywhere.
At every time.
We
At the mention, I was going to say, at the mention of Renyan Basket, Sarvith, Quentin, and the ghost of Sprout, somewhere in the Feywild, are thinking, we could sell Renyan baskets. Yeah. Yeah.
I think what she's trying to say is, who will wield this in battle against the Red Hands beside us?
Who's in the Feywild?
Sprout.
Sprout, the familiar.
May his spirit not rest.
You could always conjure him back at any point, and he'd be like, there was a dragon and there's a goblin, and they've got a lot of help.
Yes, we know.
Oh, good. I'm done with my smoke break.
And with that, Trelara ponders the words of the party. Could she be the one to be the Sentinel of Starsong? And with that, I think it's a good time to take a short break. Don't forget to ask character questions by typing question, all caps in chat, followed by the question who your character is directed at. Don't go away. We'll be back. When that's an inside joke for those of us coming back. Like a big pizza pie, it's a dead dragon. It got Rennie in and it ran like a coward. That's a dragon. All right, if you're wondering about my change of attire, I'm going to undo the button. I can't stand it. I lost a bet backstage, and they said I had to change my costume. And with that, we'll go into announcements from Michelle. There was one we did not get before the break, so...
The Games Tavern Patreon is a great way to support the show and get useful content. The latest update includes early access to the interview with Rime of the Frost Maiden co-author Hannah Carlin and Nerdburger Games designer Craig Campbell, paint plans for miniatures painted on That Mini's Paint Show, and a new battle map and plug-in event encounters for your games. Some recognition of our regular Patreon supporters, Veratus22, Rose, Madith Productions, and Christopher D. Thank you for all your patronage and support. Just check out patreon.com/thegamestavern, all one word, and get your hands on this amazing content. And that should already have been linked in the Twitch.
I send it, and we'll do another one. You know, if you anytime in chat you want to check out that Patreon, just ! Patreon. That's phonetic punctuation when I go. That's an old Victor Borges skit from like way back in the day. Phonetic punctuation. Anyone? No. So. Let's get back in this. Now, there weren't any specific questions for characters, but I think now is a good point that the party has reunited with the elves for maybe a mid-session meeting with the elves conference of sorts. So we're going to assume that the party has had a long rest at this point, the equivalent of a long rest.
Oh, good.
If there was anything you wanted to do before you took the long rest, by all means, if you wanted to party with elves, if you wanted to ask them questions, if you wanted to grill Sarvith about more information, you could. If not, we could just assume it's the next day.
Mostly just find out if the elves have beer.
Did we want to see if Deed and Tobias wanted to go see what the lizard folk were doing at the compound?
I mean,
Deed, Tobias,
Emissary?
where are you?
They are rise from the ground. They just form like Alex Mack in a 90s Nickelodeon use transformation, just and they just kind of come out of the shadows. In fact, yeah, they're wearing their cloaks. They're like, "You rang my friends."
We heard there might be some happening with the lizard folks at the City of Rest. The 6 tribes will be gathering, and their dragon is no longer there.
Oh, not yet, but one shall return. And Tobias jumps from behind the corner, and he is wearing elaborate, like, crafted dragon wings that he's made out of dried moss and sticks and twigs. Fangs. Go ahead.
All right, which of you put him up to this?
The elves are all just trying to, like, avert their eyes, and then they go, and there are lizard tribes, but perhaps there could be a lizard kingdom. And he pulls out a crown he's made out of various rat bones, and he places it upon his head. He goes, and the dragon shall be slain by the faithful of Timora. And Tobias is like, that's the part where I fake dead. And like they're like, and I think we could lead these rascals under your banner.
They are going to have a crisis of faith when their dragon doesn't show, but there is an enemy amongst them, Narkleneck, the hobgoblin. Beware his silver tongue.
and a bunch of big ogres too, and probably some other hobgoblins.
Oh, we got an ogre. Where's Rasputin, they say?
Oh boy, Rasputin.
I look to Delirious.
He walks with Timora now. He died well.
He's gone home.
Fought very bravely. He really did.
Not only this will be a liberation, an emancipation, and a revolution, it will be a revenge mission as we come in and smite them with the red fell hands that we now fold into fists, and we will bludgeon them. We will bludgeon every tooth from their mouths, and they get very, 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 very
righteous.
Yeah, yes, and they start moving and grooving. Eye of the Tiger starts to play. and they're getting ready to march. But they say they will
Did
go.
someone say crusade?
I have so many feelings right now.
Pride.
Let us march. Bope, we're going to need your rhinoceros.
Is he
We didn't-
here?
Fellas, we didn't bring the rhinoceros.
Yeah.
They kind of look around sheepishly. We might know where he's stored.
All right, but listen, Deet, Tobias, before you go, you have to promise me you're going to come back alive, okay?
We wouldn't come back any other way, Dolores. Besides, if we die, we'll haunt you for the rest of our afterlife. Yeah, we've done made deals.
I'm gonna actually, but then I'm gonna look at Delirious. Who?
I mean,
Do you?
we could just
Deals?
go with them.
Bo?
Little man could raise us. They kind of turned to Bope. They're like, little man will make sure we march beside you the rest of our undead days.
That's true.
Look,
I want you to take care of my children.
They can still do that as undead. I can tell them to.
Deet, Tobias, before you go, you should see if you can heft that mace, because you may be the hero that the Starsong elves need.
All right.
They just don't know it.
Not the one they deserve.
Deet straddles up. The elves kind of back up. A hush
There's
falls over the
There's
crowd.
a 20 on every die.
There's a 20 on every die. Oh, no.
This is amazing.
Deet has his pseudo king robe that he made out of rat skins and beaver hide.
To go over
And
so
that-
well with my orphans.
I let each of them borrow a gauntlet.
I'm not a lefty. Today you are, my friend. And then, yeah, Deet drops his robe and he points to the sky. He points to the mace. A hush falls over the elves. And he herniates a disc. As he goes to pull it, just tweaks his back. Eye kind of bulges. And he goes, and he starts to swear in lizard folk and goes to kick it, but some of the elves pull him back and away. He's like, that's a trick, a dirty, no good Quentin trick. Tobias says, I'll pass.
No, go ahead.
No! I don't
You
want
are
to have
not to be
two
outdone by my brother.
herniated discs. Those are
You
serious.
can tell he goes, and as he touches it, the handle seems to cause an uneasiness in his ungloved hand. His belly seems to quiver, and he is unable to lift the mace. He's like, rattlesnakes, I'm not worthy. Dolores, what do I have to do to repent and be seen worthy?
No,
in
listen.
Timora's eyes.
Listen. No one but you knows what you're worth, okay? Don't let anyone tell you that you are unworthy. You are an excellent creature, okay?
But Quentin showed us how much our body parts would be worth in the Menzo Baranzan black market. And they show out like diagrams they've drawn where it's like juicy bits, good tooth, spare
Quentin?
bone.
Right?
Wiping away a tear.
He just didn't want us to be wasted if you ever fell upon hard times.
They take such thorough notes.
Listen,
They're excellent.
I don't think the elves deserve you. I think you're too good for them.
We're
You're
too
right.
good for you, they shout to the crowd.
You don't just tell people that.
Subtle.
Look, you're going to be bigger than the Sentinel of Starsong. That's why the mace rejected you. It's too small.
We will be kings and queens. And he looks at Tobias. He's like, I'm not a queen. He's like, whatever, you'll be the dragon. Slain dragon, he says. You gotta make sure to slay me to impress him. And then they go, we will march forward into those Blackfen swamps, and we will win over our kinfolk.
Let them borrow the carpet at least to get there.
I hand him the pouch of 30 copper pieces. These are the coins of the City of Rest. The goblin folks were carrying them. You know, let this start you along the
Quentin,
path.
they seem to get a little wistful, a little quivery-eyed. We've never known you to part with a prophet before.
I had the same thought.
I know. It's a sentimental moment. Thank
What?
you.
I
They
did
put
try
it
to
around
get,
their neck like Scrooge in the Muppet Christmas Carol. Thank you 1,000 times. And they go ahead, Quentin.
I did try to give candy to a kid once, but I was scowled at.
There
Are you sure
you
you
go.
aren't misremembering that event? You were
Are you
taking
gonna send
candy
them-
from the kid?
Are you sending them on the carpet?
If they're determined to go,
What about flying beasts? Would he be able to summon?
I say this: the elves are they are preparing special flying giant owls for every party member as a reward and a sign of their friendship with you. Not only that, they are going to prepare and muster their numbers to join the forces in the defense of Brindle. You have persuaded them all, and they're going to try to rally all the elves of the north.
All the elves.
All the elves.
well, I pet Nimble, and I'm like, Nimble, do you want to go with Deet and Tobias?
Do you,
He kind of it's one of the things you can tell. He gives you the look. He will do whatever you ask him to do.
But I can't ask this of you. You have to decide for yourself if this is worth it. I can't tell you what to do. You are not beholden to me. We are friends.
He says, I am beholden to the rider. You were a gift from the Ghost Princess. And you've been the only friend I've ever had. As the carpet starts to... He goes...
Are you going to
But
spend
if
your
we have
last
to-
wish to set him free?
What if I?
Oh. And he just kind of stretches out. He goes, come along, boys. And then King Deet and the Tobiah dragon, Dragabias, climb aboard. They sit.
would you like me to send my familiar with them for this first stretch?
What's your familiar gonna do?
Well, I mean, I can talk to them, see what's happening. Shadow the Imp or Raven.
Yeah, okay.
All right, I'll have
Worried.
him go with them.
And so, is it Sprout?
No, the Tenebrous, Shadow the Imp, who he'll be more useful in this endeavor.
All right, I was going to say, you don't want Sprout with those boys. They'll catch in trouble. We were supposed to convert the lizard folk. Now we work as line cooks in their kitchen. Such high hopes. We make a mean burger, boys. Yeah, we do. See you after the shift. All right, and they take off on Nimble. They disappear on the horizon.
Well,
They're going to get slaughtered.
yeah, it's really nice to know them.
I punched
Sure.
Quentin.
Wow. I give him a 70% chance.
You know what? I've seen those boys accomplish way more than I ever thought they safely could.
Why I said 70.
I bet we'll see them again.
So, you are greeted by Celeria and her giant gator. I'm actually going to throw a picture of her up because she looks kind of cool. She was the oldest of their number. And she expresses great thanks, and she lets you know that giant owls have been prepared to help you travel through the land. And is there any other assistance you need from the elves? And she also asked, to where do you go next?
It's a very good question. We should get our map out and plot our next steps. But healing potions, we have gold we could trade for them. I'm out.
they all cast healing spells on you to heal you up. They don't have healing potions here. However, in their temple, there was what was his name? Elaine, something of that nature. You have him. In fact, I can pull him up. He's there. He could do it. In fact, Ilian, that was his name. Ilian Snowmantle. He has prepared some healing potions. And on the map, we can pull up combat map 1. It's not a combat map right now. It is Celeria. So you can see her with her alligator familiar.
Bitchin'.
Yeah, her mount. So,
Nice. Where
yes.
do we go from here? Who do we have left that we can still rally to the banner?
The Ghost
The-
Lord.
Ghost Lord.
You have a letter that you stole, and I
That's
believe
right. We should probably stop that.
What was the letter again?
let me see if I can find it in chat. So it was a letter to Sarvith from Stormcaller Ulwai. And it said, "Take great care with the enclosed phylactery. I need not explain to you what the Ghost Lord would do if he knew where I had sent this little bauble for safekeeping. Hide it somewhere safe. Perhaps it could be trusted to your dragon friend's keeping. Keep it hidden until Brindle is taken. Should it fall into the hands of someone who could return it to its owner, the consequences for our effort could be dire indeed."
Yes, that one.
Do we have the ability to track down a lich, or do we maybe try to call our old friend the Ghost Princess and say, "Hey,
Sarvith
find one of your buddies"?
said something about
everyone-
him being... Yeah, Sarvith said something about him being far to the south, right?
That was my recollection.
Elves may have knowledge as well.
Yeah, we should ask him about him. They know stuff from a long time ago. He seems like a fella from a long time ago.
Is that how that works?
You know,
You're
the way
both
that-
old. You must know each other.
I mean, hey, they know of. Better than nothing. Anything else we got? Do you know him? I don't know him. You know him, Quentin? Maybe,
Yeah.
but I don't think so this time.
But the way that letter is worded, if you have anything important that you're holding, you should probably write a letter saying that if it's stolen, it would be horrible for it to fall into the hands of the Velkyn Weave, and maybe it'll just get brought back to you.
So there's two things that come to mind. The first is we track him down, return it now, put a stop to it early. Perhaps he's not marched, or perhaps, like, I don't know, a favor can be gained to gain his assistance. The second thought is let his army march, have his army join, and then show him, hey, we've got this, like in the middle of the battle. But you never know where that could go, so.
I'd rather us not give them time to steal it back from us. I'd rather just unload it as quickly as possible, have fewer variables that could go wrong.
I think we should, well, honestly, get him to march his army against the Red Hand. Sarvith said he's building an army bigger than even what the Red Hand's got.
And he's
Like-
probably going to be pissed when he finds out that the right hand is the one that stole it.
Yeah.
Like, hey, friend? Well, maybe you can say that and it'll sound more, not felt forced.
Why do you think he's my friend?
Similar interests, Bo.
I'm not a lich.
I didn't say you were.
Not yet, says Sarvith.
Like, hey, we found your phylactery and heard you were raising an army for the Red Hand. How about you get some vengeance against him instead? Like, take that army. You already have it, right? But instead of marching on Brindle, because you don't really care about Brindle, march it against those assholes that tried to blackmail you. How about that?
Sarvith, how many days until they're supposed to march against that city?
Woo, he says with a big kind of hoot and a holler. He goes, "Now, keeping track of time was never my strong suit, but if dragons are getting their buttocks handed to them, And there is mention that potentially the phylactery's been stolen. It all depends. I don't know what's going on with Narkleneck. They are probably going to march post-haste, and I assume there's probably a good week or so before they march on the city. There's a good chance that they've probably taken Tarleton by now. Tarleton was a town between Brindle and Drellin's Ferry.
Little ones in between.
Yeah. It's on the map. So probably actually they have a while. He says probably a week or two before they get there. Closer to the 2.
That means we got to figure out a way to
I have a
contact
timeline.
them. Oh no.
Cameras move.
I don't see the version of map that we had that had like all the battle plans on it anymore. So
Plans
'cause
change.
I'm wondering because I'm looking at this map and it says Ghost Lord's Lair on it.
The map we had
There's a
initially.
Ghost Lord's lair.
The
Well,
map
you're
we
not supposed to
initially
be looking at maps. Yeah, I can get that for you. You're not supposed to be poking around. I'll get you all the map. I've got a number of copies of it. With that said, there's a chance you handed it over to the elves. So on Creature 3, I've just dropped the map that you have.
Okay.
They did mention to you that the Ghost Lord's lair
Oh,
was in the Thornways.
It does say Ghost Lord pointed south.
Yes. It does.
South of Drellin's Ferry.
Yeah. He is in the Thorn Waste. Which is a despicable, rough, awful place to travel through.
How are we supposed to contact him? None of us have ever met him before.
Go up and you knock.
Someone can make a history check, or you can ask among the elves. You could ask Celeria directly, Trelara directly, or Ilian. The 3 of them might tell you different things.
Natural 20 history check.
Oh yeah.
You know,
25.
So at Necromancer School, which is a school of magic, when you're trading in necromancy, they talk about liches, and the Ghost Lord is actually one of the liches they talk about in the book, and he lives in a giant stone lion that is in the Thorn Waste. There's a giant replica of a stone lion. He lives inside that.
Nice.
I think we should ask Solaria about it anyway, just see their opinion on this. Like, there are new allies. They may know something about what's going on with this, or at least the history of this fella.
Would you like to talk to her?
That's all right with y'all.
Yeah. Ask about the love.
Bring it up, yeah. Like, Solaria, I think we may have a ace up our sleeve that we found in the den of that worm speaker and dragon. Do you know of a lich named the Ghost Lord, referred to as?
Oh yes, he is a sort of spook story that is shared amongst the people here, but he does live, or at least has an unlife, so to speak. A false life, a half-life. First life, yeah. He is headed south and lives amongst the brambles. Sad boy, they call him. He was a very powerful spellcaster, attempted to win the heart of the object of his desire, but failed, and so he retreated from these lands and all humanity.
What was the object of his desire?
Yeah, do you know?
A young lady who lived to the north. She had a wandering tower, but that was long after his lichdom. He became a lich many years ago. Though it's hard to tell. Some say there are a number of liches that have shared the title. Others say that he is the only one.
So
Very good apprenticeship. I'll most likely kill you in the morning.
Delirious found some stuff. The Red Hand was apparently blackmailing the Ghost Lord into raising an army against the humans and
Peoples.
against the human lands south of here. But we've taken away their bargaining chip. They don't have it anymore. We need to contact him as soon as possible so he knows that he doesn't have to go along with their bullshit.
There's a chance you could fly there from here, utilizing your gift owls, but it is quite far to get there. It's about 150 miles. Take you several days.
Right. We have the ability to magically communicate, right, Delirious?
Yes, I have sending.
I think we should talk to his long-lost love. What do you think?
I think that's a good idea. She may know how to contact him more quickly than us having to fly for several days.
Yeah, the lady with the tower, right. Yeah.
Yeah,
mhm,
yeah.
mhm. That's quite a quinky date there.
Doesn't what's her face have a mirror that could just reach out to her?
Yes, however... Oh no, I need you to be familiar. Never mind. Carry on.
What? Oh, for the Ghost Lord himself? Yeah, thank you. That was very, very helpful, Madam Solarian.
His magic, you'll find, is very much aligned with Toril itself. He, prior to his lichdom, he resembled a caster similar to your shape and form. Taller, though.
They
Worse
always-
diet.
Poor guy. All right. Yeah, I think we should maybe send a message to the Ghost Princess about this.
Yes.
Well, Blanche Lafayette was on her way to find her.
That was before we got sending.
That was before you got sending.
Either
Can-
or.
Do this ourselves now.
She's in a different plane, though, if you remember.
Right, damn it.
Only like a
She
5% chance of failure.
Did say that, didn't she?
Yes.
Lunch then.
You can give it a shot if you'd like.
Good.
I mean,
yeah.
I got days and nothing
Self-lock.
better to do, I guess. Alright, yeah, sure. Sending, here we go.
Alright, let's take a look at this spell. Describe for the audience, since this is a new spell that you have, how the sending spell works. And how it looks like in the fiction when you cast it.
There's like a orb between my hands, kind of looks like a ball of air. I speak the message into it, and I close my hands, and then it goes off to whomever the message is intended.
Alright. Do your message.
Ready to count.
Ghost Princess.
Watch Eldon's hands. Ever have I ever? No?
You're making me very self-conscious now.
Thought this would help.
It doesn't.
Those words count. Those words count. No.
Yeah.
Shut up, all of you.
That kind of done your master. No,
Thought
I'm kidding.
this would help.
Is this thing on?
Is it on? Should I talk? What was the Lich's name?
Ghost Lord.
I thought he had like a name.
We don't know it.
Okay. We have Ghost Lord's phylactery. We will return.
You can reply
I'm
to this
gonna-
message.
You have 15 more words.
Oh,
I only have the two.
please contact him for us. How are you?
New phone, who dis?
All right. This is fun. So you can see what I rolled in the Discord. There's a 5% chance that it fails if it goes across terrain. I've marked it as a spoiler. You heard me go.
Wow. Wow.
Oh.
Wow. Really? Really?
Oh!
You don't know this though, or rather, Delirious doesn't know this.
Wait. You said
Aw.
5% chance, right? You should roll percentile dice, not a d20.
A d20 is incremented in percents of 5.
Oh, boo! Don't bring your math into this.
I know, it's just I happened to roll a d20. Now, I wouldn't have rolled at all if I hadn't been reminded of the 5% chance, but sometimes that's just the breaks. With that said, Blanche Lafayette is trying to get a hold of her for you, and trying to get her to come back, and to ally with you in the fight against the Red Hand Horde.
Well, we don't know any of that, and we don't have the time, so now...
Well, you know that she is because you sent her to do it, so you just
know
don't
if it fails? Okay.
Just not that part.
I don't. It doesn't say you know or not, but there's just a chance that it doesn't arrive, or it might arrive on a different time schedule. It was a valiant effort, but alas,
I feel like if nobody responds, would that be a sort of a?
she has
channel?
ghosted you before, pun intended. But
But
she's not as. She would probably want to check in on you if she does get the message.
Seems like a big deal. You know, phylacteries and all.
Yeah. She left you unread.
So, in the meantime, then I guess that means that we're still
These 3 dots
going, and then we're just hoping
Yeah.
that she arrives at the same time
Yeah.
to support us.
Yeah, and you have 3 days, roughly 3 days, to get to the Ghost Lord's lair. And the ways you can get there is you can either fly straight from Starsong Hill. You can fly from Brindle, which I think is
Slightly out of the way.
that would take longer, I believe.
Well, it might not be a bad idea to drop off Sarvith, and maybe he can help the defense, but also I'm not sure I trust him out from under our
No.
watchful eyes.
No.
I mean, you could just take the other leg.
But if you're talking about
He'd fit better in the bag.
Dang.
if you're talking about
He's
sending
like, I'm
information,
limber! He's like pulling his leg up, yoga style. It flops over his head. Ah! Ah!
It'll fine. It'll atrophy off in a few years.
Yes!
I mean, you could send a sending to one of the agents from Drellin's Ferry that was headed to the larger city, Brindle, and let him know that they got about a week until the horde shows up. Give him a little update.
Yeah, no, that's fine. Yeah, we can do that, and then we just fly straight for where we hope the lich is.
Like rest neutralized, trying to get lizard allies,
Why does it
elves
say-
rallying,
Why does this
horde
say
on its way.
Tarleton day 12 and then Brindle day 34?
Well, that's all been busted to hell though with our
35.
stomping
You
around.
all have messed it up as well.
But I mean, that's more than a week, right? That's.
Well, I told you they might Sarvith thinks it'll take about two weeks for them to get there.
Okay.
He feels it'll be about 14 days. His feeling, anyways.
What's the spot that says good plunder?
I think there's good plunder.
They definitely think there
Seems
is.
fairly self-explanatory.
It says Talar.
Talar.
Is there any cost to doing the sending, or just the spell?
It's just a spell slot.
Can
You
you
third level spell slot.
check in with Renion's nemesis to see if he's made it down to the Dwarven Enclave? He was on Hellwhip,
You can tell
riding
him that
down there.
You can tell him I drove off an adult black dragon.
Do you want me to make a booty call? Sorry, I mean update to your nemesis?
Yes.
I have
Listen.
no idea what you mean by this.
I think you do.
Booty call. you speak of.
Booty is in plunder? I don't understand.
I don't get it.
Yeah.
Oh,
No.
Renyan.
So, if you'd like, you could reach out to Tybalt D'Avignon, who is attempting to assemble a large mercenary force to the south.
Would that be in the same general direction
Hammer
as the
Fist
undead?
Hold.
Further.
It would be in that direction. They split off east and west.
I mean, it can't hurt. I mean, number one, make sure he's still alive, and maybe he's got a tidbit of information.
Yeah, okay, so I think we'll give him a call, and I think we will tell him about the dragon, so he'll be tempted to, like, one-up us somehow. It's probably good.
Okay. So what's your message you want to send to him? I don't know if he can respond back.
No, but I'm more confident he's on this plane of existence, and he'll get it and, do what he wills
Yeah,
because
absolutely.
of it.
I thought he could respond to sending.
Can he?
Just 25 words.
I didn't think so.
Yes.
Pretty sure
Oh,
he
they can answer in a like manner. There you go.
Oh, excellent.
But does he have an intelligence score of 1? No, I'm just kidding.
You're just here. Oh, what was that?
Wow, he's a very good instinctual fighter.
Wait, what do we want to tell him again? Other than the dragon bit?
You know, we'll sketch it out on paper ahead of time so we get the maximum words in. But basically, hey, how are you?
Hey.
Renyan misses you.
Renyan defeated an adult black dragon.
You're using a sending spell on this?
Elves
That's
rallying. Horde marching towards the city in 1 to 2 weeks.
Expected, yeah, okay. So we
Status update. And how is Quentin's pouch of spices?
Oh, and Hellwhip. How's Hellwhip doing?
Sounds like 2 spells.
One to hell as well, or you'll never hear the end of it.
Well, I can't do that because I won't be able to understand the answering nays.
All right, let me
She-
finish writing my
she
song.
gets her feelings across.
Spices and Hell's Hell Whip. Yeah, you can do that in less than 25 words.
Excellent.
All right. This one might go over.
3 to spare.
All right. Far over deep in Hammer's Hold, the dwarves are getting mighty bold. They will away ere break of day, at the cost of Brindle's gold. Oh,
Wow.
sorry. Hey, I had to write it on the spot. Yeah,
No,
that's
that
it.
was really good.
Yeah.
That's how he responded.
Yes. So he's been singing, and Hellwhip kind of snorts and then goes back to
Pretentious
reading her
much.
pictures.
Wow.
Yeah. So essentially,
I haven't seen
they're
Renyan
gonna-
sing.
they're getting the financing good. There's a cart that's being delivered, and the dwarves are feeling like they will join in. They're like, you know what, we're mercenaries. This silent protector, watchful guardian, dark knight, if you will, has come up here. Hellwhip is the bat cycle, and it's all like wobbly. She's like, yeah. Essentially, they've agreed, so they will send the dwarven mercenary forces. They have been paid off. They're like, Brindle has money to pay. We will-
Excellent. I hope the money gets there.
Dwarves get there.
Yeah. So, Ilian Snowmantle, see a man about some healing potions.
Yeah, I've got those. We have potes, if you will. We have elixirs, we have salves, we have bombs.
Unguents?
That could be arranged. We have
Ointments.
injections, ointments, lathers,
Any cheese?
pills,
What-
and a number of other natural remedies. And essentially, go ahead and roll a d8 for me.
D8. That is a 2.
So he gives you 1 superior healing potion and 1 greater healing potion. That is
Woohoo!
Oh, wow. Yeah.
he is. He's like, but these are all I can spare. He says, actually, yeah, he goes in, he goes, well, we've used up most of our stores in the fight against the dragon spawn. You know, not all of us have hit dice, you see. I'm kidding. But
Get it?
yeah, he's like, this is currently all we have to muster and spare. We've needed to use many to treat the sick.
Understood.
We will have battles to come.
Thank you kindly.
And with that, he asks if you have any other questions or favors or desires of him. How did your blessings hold when you went
Easy.
forward?
I ended up not using mine, but
I
if you
forgot
could-
all about those.
if you could say a prayer for Deed and Tobias, they're on a very dangerous mission.
Oh,
Yes, I will say a prayer for those. Blessed too. They were good friends of ours while they were here. We grew quite fond of them. And he offers a prayer.
they do that. They grow on you.
You know,
He cries
that
with you.
acorn was instrumental in driving that dragon away. Do you have any more?
Unfortunately, no. The gods
That's okay.
seem to forsake us as we leave our trees to defend the world of men below. However, we believe that they will smile upon us again, for sometimes elves must leave the trees to serve the greater good.
From but one acorn, the seed of hope is planted in your people.
He's planting seeds in us? One of the other elves saying.
Well, I have been around a long time.
All right.
This is.
Um,
I was gonna. This is a long shot, sir. Do you know of the former man, now undead, the Ghost Lord?
That creature is quite dangerous. He is a summoner of ghost brute lions, dire creatures, sphinxes, spider eaters, onkegs, assassin vines. He has guarded himself with many ghostish things, the dreaded chimera, and because of the hate that he has in his heart, I do not recommend he be confronted as an enemy, but be spoken with at arm's length, and beware his gaze, for it is terrifying.
I only understood like
Did
half
you-
those things.
Know this creature?
Beware the
personally?
Jabberwock, my boy. All right. He goes on to tell the tale of when he was a young lad, a young elf, a novice in the ways of Corellin. Their party was traveling to the Thorn Waste to obtain sacred and rare herbs. Herbs, he calls them. Rare herbs.
Herbs.
And while they walked those wastes, they had an encounter, and most did not survive.
With the Ghost Lord itself, or with its creations and spawn? This may not seem important, but believe me when I say it is.
He says he feels the land was harsh and dangerous to the point where there were many who, through their carelessness, fell to the plight of the land. However, the encounter with the Lord himself struck many of them dead.
Mr. Snowmantle, the Ghost Lord was being blackmailed very recently by the Red Hand into raising an army against the folk of the South, but we found their bargaining chip and took it. He doesn't have to take his army against mortal folk anymore, and we have no way of contacting him because none of us
Have met him.
have met him. But if you say you've met and encountered this ghost lord yourself, would you be able to communicate with him over this distance?
Well, he says, though I have seen the Lord, I am not familiar with him. I do not know how to speak to his mind, nor what languages he is fluent in. However, if you truly have what you say you have, there's no reason why he would show hostility to you unless he felt threatened by your presence.
It's just a matter of haste. We worry that we will not arrive in time. We have a great distance to travel to reach the Thornways.
Yes, but you have the flight of owls to carry you.
That we do. That we do. Maybe we should
Look for the lion, and I will give a special blessing on your owls. He and his novices prepare a blessing, and it will take... you'll be able to get there in a day and a half.
Ooh.
However, those owls will suffer from exhaustion, possibly. There's a chance.
Exhaustion's
But they'll
not
get
death.
there.
Exhaustion's not death. They're just gonna be a little tired.
It's not
It's
death,
all
they're
right.
just a little tired. A little
Yeah.
tired. Deep breaths.
Disadvantage on skill checks. It's okay.
Take a nap. Yeah, and then what skills do they have anyways? Sleight of hand? Come on.
They're horrible card
Blade
players.
of claw.
Ah!
Disadvantage on deception checks. Whoo!
But yeah, he goes in deep, and they finish blessing the owls. So he will save you time.
Glad we talked to that guy.
So,
Well,
With this
anything
out.
else that you want to do in Starsong Hill?
Pope, are you good on bodies?
Oh, I think those other two were quite spent.
Wish you wouldn't put it that way.
While Quentin makes Ilian Snowmantle occupied, Bope's in the back with like the almost dead ones. He's like, "Quick, just finish them off." All right, didn't quite make it. You're skeleton now. Get in the bag.
Nope. We'll see what opportunities present themselves in the future.
With that, I take it the party begins traveling south?
Yes.
With all due haste.
With all due haste. Now,
More
over
than.
the course of the first day, the skies themselves, you see many fields burning beneath you as you fly out of the woods, and you're going over the lands. They do not possess the great beauty that they once had when you first arrived here to the land of Ammon in the Elsir Vale. There are heavy smokes that fill the sky. You can see on the horizon the battle lines moving, and you can hear the banging of drums over the hills. And there are also the silhouettes of dragons, wyverns, and other terrifying things on the horizon as well.
Let's avoid those.
With that said, you are racing towards the Vale, and you spot something in the distance. You see, coming in, almost at the same speed of you, on a team of 3 wyverns, there are what can only be goblinoids, armored in black. You can outrun them, or you can turn to face them.
Well,
Distraction.
let's see what they need. I know what I need.
Bodies.
Wyvern steak?
throw distraction, we can keep going.
What is
Yeah.
your decision?
We have a big enough distraction.
I have a fairly large distraction.
I have no opinion one way or the other.
Conjure animals
Oh,
for flying giant eagles, maybe to harry them.
I think that's a pretty good idea.
Yeah,
May not be able to keep up at that point
I like.
for a little bit anyway.
All right. So go ahead and articulate your plan to me. We will tell you how this goes out.
I would like to quite explicitly just make sure I got the right CR I'm thinking here. Oh, not as many as I thought. Wait, is that right? Giant owls. More owls. Just more owls. Here we go. Okay. Giant owls are not as tough as giant eagles. 8. I would like to try and conjure quite a flock. 8 giant owls.
You can.
To attack the wyverns and armored hobgoblins astride them.
So, the giant owls go in a parliament of owls. Good call, Quentin. The owls move in. You see, as they move in, and they're in the distance, you can sort of see on the horizon, you see 4 of them drop out of the sky dead instantly.
Well, that's...
And it's hard to tell. It's one of those things where you feel there was definitely a supernatural effect there. Something frightening. Something that can kill with a glance.
That's not good.
And with that, they are delayed, though. The owls are keeping them busy. And you see the wyverns, at this point, they're busy enough that you surpass them by far over the horizon. They're not going to be able to track you either. They have been confused.
And I'm just going to hold concentration as long as I can until that hour's up.
All right. You feel the 8 conjured owl souls depart this plane and return from whence they came when dealing with that force. It is unlike any that you had met at this point in dealing with the hobgoblin horde. This appears to be... they have put a team together, and they are sending that team after you. They are going to attempt to hunt down the Velkyn weave and snuff out the flame that fuels it, if possible. However, you are crafty, wise, and have many abilities, and you have evaded the marked for death Red Hand strike force for this current time.
Sorceful bunch.
Buy us some time at least.
Yeah.
Hard to track while we're flying through the air.
Still something that we'll have to deal with eventually.
Yeah. We'll be ready for them. Have we seen what they can do? At least a little bit, because that wasn't right.
Yeah, they might kill our rides. That's worrying.
That would
Yeah.
be the biggest concern, yes.
As we all plummet to our deaths because the rug is on loan, so...
Don't worry, guys. I can do that again if you need.
Given that they sent a hit squad after us, I will telepathically check in with Shadow the Imp and see how Deed and Tobias are doing. I'll even concentrate so I can see and hear through them. If
I don't have a voice for the imp.
yeah, he's pretty generic right now.
So he's like,
Quiet type.
I'll do pretty generic. So pretty generic. Hey, the Keanu Reeves of imps. And Deet knows Kung Fu. Or should I say, King Deet. And we're going to cut the camera, and you can see through the eyes, sitting on the throne in rest, with lizard folk kind of gathered about, listening to him. He has put together the court of fools, he calls it. He goes, but fool is a compliment here. I've been called it many times, and every day is opposite day. In fact, every day is a holiday, and every meal's a feast here in rest. He has bequeathed coins upon his chosen lizard folks, and there were 6 families, and he has appointed leaders from each family, and it is balanced, equitable, both the old and the young, the masculine and the feminine, and those with many teeth and those with few, as he sits upon the throne, and he has a armor of bones, familiar, awkward-shaped bones, an empty socket but where a wandering eye might have been, as Narkleneck was rent to pieces by the watchmen of the north, who are also the disciples of Timora. And you see that Deet and Tobias helped lead a charge in a lizard folk rebellion to take the city back from the few forces that remained.
Yeah.
I'm so proud.
Now we just have to decide to give up the throne and march down and join our brethren in the war. And they're like, it'll happen, it'll happen. But for now, you have to pretend to once have been a slain dragon. Oh, that was a hard day. I thought I could give you a good whooping. You did. You weren't supposed to fight back so hard. I needed to make it look real. And like they kind of bicker back and forth. I didn't break no bones.
One of my disciples, a benevolent tyrant. This is the proudest day of my life.
When they're away from other people, I'll share our pride to them. Deet, Tobias, the Velkyn Weave, Delirious, we are proud of you. You're doing great work.
High five each other, and the lizard folks are, why'd you do that? They're like, it's a hand slapping gesture known as a high five. It is now our communal way of greeting, and everyone high fives each other. They're a bunch of high fiving lizard folk now. With that said, I'm curious. There is one individual that has kind of avoided the spotlight this session, both because he had been hit by dragon breath and sleep spells and all sorts of things. The necromancer of the group, the body searcher. What's going on in Bope's head? I'm just curious.
I think Bope is making sure that Mr. Peppers is not too traumatized from the insects, the acid, me falling asleep on top of him twice. It's a 50-50. I don't know, it probably happened. And curious what will come of this this lich, self-proclaimed lich. We'll see.
Well, I need the group at this point to make a survival check. You have reached the Thorn Waste, and it's a good opportunity to...
Ooh, nat 20, 25.
That'll do.
Natural 2 for a 9.
So, most of the group is feeling the harshness of the Thorn Waste. It's tough. It is a slog, and it is an awful stretch of land to traverse and travel through. But at this point, you see rising from a low mesa an intimidating sight. There's a massive lion of stone in a crouched position, looking like it's ready to pounce a nearby hill. And it looks like it has to be hundreds of feet in length. Close to 300 if you had to guess. There seems to be a hollow area down on the ground below the lion's front paws. But it looks as though both the mouth and low to the ground to be dark caves going within it. And so, as you approach just a little closer to discern these details, you see translucent lion-like shapes flying around the lion's head and body. And every now and then, those shapes pass right through the stony surface and come out the other side. What do you do, and how do you approach?
Perhaps we should announce ourselves. Say we come bearing a gift for the Ghost Lord.
Wave the white flag, so to speak.
Seek an audience with.
Pretty wise. Yeah, I don't think we should try and sneak up on the guy and make him think we're being untoward.
Yeah.
Literal white flags, handkerchiefs out.
I can do that.
Perhaps, yes.
Yeah.
No. One of the eyes of the giant stone lion illuminates and shoots its death rate. No, it doesn't shoot its death rate.
Death rate.
As it sees as you approach, and you are free to lower closer to the ground if you would like and approach, or you are welcome to try to fly in through the mouth. Which way do you go?
I just like the idea of going in on ground level better.
I like the mouth.
The mouth. Yeah.
Yeah.
Seems like
All
a
right.
natural.
Yeah, but fly casually. You know, it's, don't like, you know,
Fly
You know,
casually.
just sit in your, in your saddle, just.
no like flying V maneuver shit going on here. We just need to hey,
Glide in.
be chill. Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Be cool.
Avoid them, but don't look like you're avoiding.
Cool.
So
Yeah, I'm okay with that. Head towards the mouth, as long as things don't look aggressive.
you fly towards the mouth, and the ghost lions surrounding kind of turn their heads towards you. Their ghastly ethereal manes kind of wave in the ether and notice you. Inside the lion's maw, you see at the bottom of a jaw, there is a large stone balcony, and it looks as though there might be a rope ladder on one side that is coiled up that could be tossed over, and there is no one inside that you can see. Would you like to land within?
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, just announce our presence or something.
Do you want your owls to stay on the outside or take off or approach from a distance? What do you want to do? Because there's a lot of owls.
Is there enough room for them to perch on the railings, like in a semicircle, whatever?
They could try, but they are, in fact, quite nervous.
Oh. I mean, I would like them to be close.
Yeah, do we have like an owl whistle or something?
Well, you'd be the one to answer that question.
Yeah, it's like, can't you just tell them?
You literally speak to animals.
I mean, that's true. I can just be like,
Oh, yeah.
fellas, you all right? Yeah, just like,
They're worried about those lions. The lions can fly. They can pass through stone.
They're quite worrying. It's true.
I mean, I think it's going to be okay. They follow somebody else's orders. I don't think they're just going to come after you. Just try to be cool.
Just
They ask if they can perch on the... They said, can we drop you off and perch on yonder mesa and then give us a sign?
Yeah. You have
Sign
pretty,
is the
you have
big
pretty good
explosion.
hearing, right?
Got great hearing. Good eyes.
We'll
Impressive wingspan.
just keep an eye on this area. We'll come back around here and holler if we need you. All right?
Hoo, hoo. And they hoot away. So they do their little owl walk.
If
Yeah.
you see other owls, don't be offended. It's just an emergency.
I don't give a hoot. So you are delivered inside the front balcony. There is a massive wall. It looks to be that there is an emblem of a bronze gorgon head on the door, which seems to be the door handle. You have to guess which snake to pull to open my trap door. It's a massive puzzle. You're gonna have to do math. There's gonna be word problems, maybe Morse code. I'm kidding. There's
Punishment is petrification.
punishment is petrification.
Tricking
Dungeons.
us into doing math since 1974.
Yes. All right. So, by all means, would anyone like to open the door?
Sure.
Nose goes.
I'll risk it. I mean, unless you want to, Renya, no?
Yeah, I got it.
Alright.
it. Shuffle, shuffle.
Paladins go where
Clank.
brave men fear to tread something. I don't know.
Yeah, I'll stand back in case it spews forth something noxious.
Shield at the ready.
Open the door. The other side of the door, you see a trio of hobgoblins. They look differently than the other hobgoblins that you have seen. They are dressed.
Oh, go ahead.
They are dressed in lean and light attire. I'm going to put a picture of one in I'm going to put a picture of one in Discord. I'll see if I can get it onto the Google map so that you can see. But to describe them, they are wearing black flowing clothing, and they are svelter than the other hobgoblins you have seen, and they move in mysterious ways. Going to drop one onto Creature 2 of your battle maps. There's 3 of them in there. And with that, I think it's a good place to stop for the night. Will there be a conversation or a roll for initiative? The hobgoblins are not the Ghost Lord. They believe that he is currently being blackmailed because no one surely would have hands on that phylactery, let alone the Velkyn weave. And so that's where we will end for the evening. Fun session, folks.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
This started off really crazy there, and then only got worse.
I think you mean better.
We lulled. We had a slight break there. Like, oh, elves. Okay, we're safe. Oh
And then it's
boy.
high stakes owl adventure.
Into the lion's maw.
To the lion's maw.
Yeah,
Into
owl
the
racing.
lion's maw. All right. So, let's do some quick reminders and thanks, and then we'll raid a friend. So, Corey, what do we got going on?
Oh man, so as per usual, we do ask you to subscribe to our YouTube channel, especially if you don't get to watch all our shows live. They show up there. Likes and comments on the videos help us, show up for others too. So it helps us get to know you. It helps us spread the word about the shows, and subscribing is free. You don't miss any of the action that way, and you can get access to some of our additional content as well.
And big thanks to tabletopaudio.com for providing the music and ambiance that everyone has come to enjoy, the sound effects that make this all go round for our live play shows. You can use Tabletop Audio in your own campaigns by going to tabletopaudio.com and choosing from over 240 music and ambiance tracks. Or if you need something custom, you can check out the sound pad, and you can kind of create your own sound pad through that system. We think so highly of Tabletop Audio, we are supporters of them, and so should you. We hope to see you all next week, and I think you said we're going to raid someone, so it's going to be good night.
Yar.
Yeah, excellent.
Gung ho, readers, let us avast ahoy.
For the
Scupper
booty.
ye.
Raise thou, Jolly Roger. Cast off.
Onward.
Shiver me timbers.
Yar.
You shake and shake the ketchup bottle, none'll come and then a lot'll. Rub-a-dub-dub, 3 elves in a tub.
I'm not familiar with that.
Someone
pirate
cut us
saying.
off. What is happening?